Welcome. In front of me is a Samsung Galaxy M53, and today I'll show you a couple of tweaks and the tricks you can do on this phone. So I'm going to start off with probably the more rudimentary ones and move on later on to some more interesting. So we're going to start off with the dark mode. Obviously you can find it in the settings under the display section right here. You have the light and the dark mode, which you can flip through whenever you want, but you can also utilize the dark mode settings, which allows you to turn it on as a schedule. Really neat feature, allows you to basically have both of the modes in a way enabled at the same time, and the device will flip-flop between both of them whenever it needs to switch based on what you have set, because you also have the sunrise to sunset or the custom one, which allows you to select the hours yourself. Now moving back, we also have motion smoothness right here, which for some reason it is set to standard. Oh, I know why. And that is because I'm using power saving mode. Now it's set to high. So as you can see, we have two different options, high and standard. Standard will use 60 Hz, while high will use 120. We do have a nice little animation right here to showcase how this will affect your display. And now the option that for some people might be interesting, if you're planning to preserve more battery, I would probably recommend going for 60. The display won't look as smooth as it does with 120, but you will get better battery life out of it. For everybody else who doesn't really care that much for battery life and just wants to have that smooth animations of scrolling and all that stuff, then stick with the high. Now moving on to the next option, which I personally just like to change, at least on Samsung devices, is the screen mode. By default, Samsung goes to the Vivid, which let's be honest, sometimes it's a little bit too overdone. For instance, like right here. Now the camera is set, the one that I'm recording this with, to kind of not be as obnoxious as it is in reality. But for me, looking at the phone right now, these grapefruits and oranges are just so vibrant and so overdone that they almost look like they're glowing out of radiation or something. To me, that is too much. So I do myself prefer to use the natural look, because it is a little bit more toned down, looks a little bit easier to the eye and more realistic. It obviously won't look as probably nice in certain scenarios like here, where you have the Aurora Borealis. Obviously Vivid will shine here better, just because it adds that extra color to it, but still, I prefer to give up some of the visuals for a overall more rounded actual image and everything that I look at on the phone. So that is just my personal preference. Obviously you can choose either one, both of them are fine. If you prefer to have more vibrant images, that's completely fine. Go right ahead with the Vivid one. Anyway, let's move on to the next option, which is the navigation bar, which is also under the display, just a little bit lower. There we go. And this will allow you to use gesture navigations if that is something that you want to utilize. I personally prefer gesture navigation, so that's what I'm gonna switch to. As you can see, it will remove the buttons from the bottom and substitute them for gestures. And if you have never used gestures before, quickly going into that, really quickly, you can swipe up to go home. You can swipe up and hold to go to recent. If I can actually grab it, there we go. I do have a edge of the screen protector, which is kind of catching my finger, so bear with me. So there we go, that's swipe up and hold to go to recent, and then swipe up from sides to go back. As you can see, it will bring up this arrow right here and right here, and when you let go, it will go back. And also you can swipe on the bar, as you can see, left and right, to switch between the opened apps that are running in the background. So there we go. That was a quick guide on gesture navigation for everybody who hasn't used them before. Now moving on to the next option is just a simple pop-up view. So we can access this by going, for instance, into recent, tapping on the icon of the app that is open, and you have the option right here, open in pop-up view. Here you can resize the, quickly grab it, there we go. So you can resize the opened window, you can move it around, You can minimize it, maximize it, close it. You can also have several of them open and switch between them if you want to. And I believe there is also an option that when you get a notification, like this pop-up right here, when someone, for instance, writes to you, you can drag that pop-up down and it will open up in this kind of pop-up view. So from here you can quickly respond to someone, swipe up home, and as you can see, it will then create this up head, which you can then go back to quickly whenever you need to interact with the application again. So you'd again just tap on it, and there we go. And moving on to the next option, which I wanted to showcase, though this will be more like tell and not show, just because it's kind of hard to showcase this. It's something that you'll need to try out on your own. This will work only with some kind of headphones. If you have headphones, earbuds, anything like that, that's good. You will need to connect it to your phone. And once you have done so, let's navigate into the settings, sounds and vibration. From there, you'll scroll down to sound quality and effects, adapt sound, select allow, and this will give us an option to customize the equalizer, tailor it specifically to our hearing. Now there is a couple pre-made ones, as you can see. By default it's set to no boost, as you can see, but we also have the age ones like under 30, 30 to 60, and 60 and over. So you could try out the pre-made ones. Obviously they tend to work fairly good from my experience, but I also recommend you to actually just go to the test my hearing feature and then tailor it specifically to your hearing. Now what will happen when you go to test my hearing, it will play, I believe, like 20 different sounds, and these are like really quiet sounds, so you do need to be in a quiet environment where you don't hear like any distractions. Being outside on a street will not work. You will not hear anything. These sounds are really faint. Bringing up the volume won't affect it, so also don't do that. So get some good headphones, pop them in, be in a quiet environment, and then the phone will give you a 20 different sound test. It's just going to be either left or right ear, asking you if you can hear this. If you can, select yes. If you can't, select no. Based on that, the device will define where your hearing is lacking and create a tailored equalizer specifically for you. And this will work every time you use your headphones or earbuds. And it will only work with this kind of thing. It will not affect the speakers on the phone, so don't try that. That's why I'm saying use headphones for this. Without headphones, you actually will not be able to do this, I believe. Yep, connect headphones to start, as you can see. And it also tells you to go to a quiet place, put in your headphones, and close multimedia. I'm not sure why that actually matters. But anyway, obviously, like I already told you how it works, you can go through it and create a better sounding sound signature for your headphones and basically utilize that. And this is probably, Samsung is, from what I've seen, the only device that does this, and this option is really good. So yeah, anyway, that being said, this would conclude the tweaks and tricks that I wanted to share with you. And if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.